Hi, and thank you for joining me for another training video. In this video, we are talking about ABC, always be closing. One of the most important pieces in this puzzle, so make sure you listen very carefully, taking notes, actively listening. Hopefully, this will give you a lot of value. Personally, it's one of my favorite parts. Um, ABC, always be closing, will help us. It's a necessary piece of the puzzle that will help us to get to a successful resolution. So ABC, the importance of continuously moving potential customers towards making a purchase or order or booking the job when it comes to our world as an answering service. Now, how to do it? So first we have to be engaged. We have to be engaged in conversation. We have to lead the call, as you'll see momentarily. We have to capture the client attention and create interest in the product or service being offered. That's an extremely important part. Qualification, assessing the needs, or in other words, understanding the problem is a crucial part of tailoring the agent pitch appropriately, but understanding the customer's pain point and desires. Handling objections, agents should be prepared to address those objections confidently and providing compelling reasons why the product or service is still valuable and beneficial. And closing techniques that we're going to get into it shortly. Leading the call. Leading the call is a part of closing. Without leading the call, I will leave the customer in the air. The customer doesn't know what to expect when he calls. Me, as the agent, I know what are the solutions that I can offer them. So leading the call starts with preparation. Familiarize yourself with the product or services you'll be discussing. So that goes into training. We'll go into script training, knowledge, industry overview. Of course, I have to have a basic understanding about what I'm trying to help the customer with. Greeting. Start the call with a warm professional greeting. Introduce yourself and your role in the company. Use the customer name to personalize the interaction. So one of the first things that we do in the conversation is to get the name. The reason we're going to get the name, because if their name is Tiffany, from that point on, every sentence that I would start with, Tiffany, this is what I can offer you. Tiffany, I think this is a good solution for the problem. Tiffany, can I schedule an appointment for you today between 2 to 4? That will make the conversation personal and help to build rapport. Active listening, empathy and understanding, clarification and communication. If I'm not clear to the customer, very clear in my words, in my intention, effective speaking, it's going to be very hard to close this call. Providing solutions. So once we are presented with an issue, our goal would be to provide a successful resolution and explain the features and the benefits of your product or services and how they can address the customer's specific needs. For instance, someone got locked out of the house. So a proactive solution would be to send a technician right away, making sure they can enter their house as soon as possible. Handling objection. Address any concerns or objection raised by the customer with patience and professionalism. Provide additional information or alternative solution to overcome their reservation and demonstrate the value of your offering. Yes, we have to build value to what we're offering. And closing the call. So let's talk about an important part. How do we answer questions properly, or how do we handle objections properly? We're going to have a separate video very specific about how to handle each objection and how to address it, how to answer it. But the lines that we operate in, when we are presented with a question, we have to address it. Many times we see agents that don't address the question. They just ask the customer an irrelevant question to what he just said. So that will irritate anybody. If I'm asking someone a question, especially someone that I want service from, and he's not addressing it, ignoring it, that will tick anybody off. So we have to address it, we have to answer it, we have to go back to the point and move towards closing or booking the appointment or gather information. Let me give you an example. So if we have someone that needs us to repair his AC and is asking if we're doing installation on the second floor. So first of all, I would say something in the line, yes, we absolutely do installation on the second floor. What I can do for you as an agent is to set up an appointment for you for one of our technicians to come out and assess the situation. Would that be okay for you? That's an example of an answer and a question. So I answered the question, and then I got back to the point, and I moved forward into closing the appointment or the resolution of the call. So another example would be if somebody's asking, how much does it cost to replace the pulleys on the garage door? Then I would say, yes, I will definitely be happy to assist. In order for me to provide you pricing, I will have to set up an appointment for you for our technician to come out and provide accurate quote on site. Would that be okay for you? So I addressed the question as what is the price of something. I answered that and I got back to the point. Now sometimes I have pricing in my script. So if somebody's asking how much our spring cost, and I see on the details that I have basic pricing for springs, for instance, then I would say something in the lines, yes sir, we have a ballpark between 89 to 149 per spring. What I can do for you today is to set up an appointment for one of our technicians to come out and give you an accurate quote. Would that be okay for you, Tiffany? So that's how I will answer questions. Many times I see someone answering questions. A customer calls and says, hey, you guys replace locks? And the agent says, yes, we do. And then it's quiet. And then the customer keeps asking questions. Do you guys service Ventura area? Yes, we do. And then again, it's quiet. So the customer is asking the question and leading the call instead of me, the agent. So extremely important. If you learn this technique, it'll be much easier for you to get a successful resolution. You get an answer, you address it, you answer it, you don't ignore it by any means. If you don't know the answer, you can allow yourself a few moments by saying, hey Tiffany, let me check that information for you. Would you mind me putting you on hold for a few seconds? She says yes, and then I'll put her on hold and I'll look at the details if I have that information. I come back to the call and I say, Tiffany, I don't have pricing myself for garage door pulleys. What we can definitely do today is to set up an appointment to have one of our technicians to come out and do a full diagnostics today. Would that be okay for you? That would be the right way of answering a question. So address it, answer it, go back to the point of what we're trying to solve or the resolution of this conversation and move towards to the closing. This will allow flow in the conversation. It will allow you and the customer be on point on what we can do as customer representatives, as agents to help them. Extremely, extremely important. Now, the last part is Don't take no for an answer. So let me just say that a customer saying no is a necessary phase to get a yes. So my job as the agent is to turn that no to the yes. And in order for me to do so, I will have to be proactive with providing best solution for their problems. I will have to convince the customer and literally ask for the resolution. Would you mind me sending out technician today to unlock your front door? Would that be okay for you? That's me asking directly the customer for the resolution. And I can also use techniques of convincing. Simply, let's say I'm trying to convince someone that to send out a locksmith tech, and he says, no, let me call around. So I will convince him by saying, you know what, Tiffany, I want to assure you that when it comes to replacing locks, we keep only top of the line locks mechanism, and we can definitely do that job for you. I can tell you that we can do the best possible service for you. Our technicians are certified, and we have the right price for you as well. We are very competitive with pricing. I see here on the display on the slide I wrote right price twice. That should be the right product, right service, and the right price. So I can use these techniques to convince the customer that we are representing a good, solid, local company that will provide them with the best product, provide them with the best possible service, and provide them with the best possible price. That is music to the ears of the customers, because that's what they want. So I will say it plain and simple. And I have to, when I'm not taking no for an answer, when I'm rebattling, I have to remember, be very polite and courteous and humble. I can't be aggressive. I can't overcome them aggressively, forcefully. I have to be very polite, courteous, and humble. And I will say things, Tiffany, this company has been in business for 10 years. I can assure you that our technicians are nice and professional. We'll send someone out to do the best possible service for you, and our prices are extremely competitive. Would that be okay for you? So I would definitely go the extra mile or above and beyond, as I mentioned in previous videos, to turn that no into a yes. That's where we're trying to differentiate ourselves compared to other companies. We want to go that extra mile to convince or to get to a successful resolution. If somebody is declining to give me the address, I can humbly ask them, hey, Tiffany, I understand giving the address is something very private. I completely understand that part. In order for me to send someone out to unlock your front door, I will have to have the complete address. I hope you understand that. I can assure you that our technician is very nice, our company is legit, and at any point, if you don't like us to come out, just say no, and I can assure you that no one will ever come into your address. So that's me convincing someone to give me the address. Now, they might say no, and I would say, okay, that's fine. I completely understand. I'll take a step back, and I'll say what I'll do. I'll send my technician your information, your phone number, your name. I'll tell them that at this current stage you don't want to provide the address. Discuss with him about what you need, and maybe he can give you some more accurate pricing. Would that be okay for you? So that's me convincing. I have to keep that in mind. That's where my expertise as an agent comes into play. So always be closing, guys. That's a key element in our training. We have to focus on closing the calls with as much satisfaction from the customer side, but also we have to be very persistent on our side. So this concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's beneficial for you, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you very much.